Hey guys, so on to the next installment of my Declutter series, which is going to be eyeshadows. And actually I do have a lot of eyeshadows, I guess, considering the normal person has like one palette, but compared to other people's collection, I definitely don't have a lot. Like, this is literally all the eyeshadows that I have, palettes, single eyeshadows, everything. This is it. So I don't anticipate getting rid of too many palettes, but I am going to try and declutter just a little bit because I have zero room to grow. Like, I have no more room. So I'm going to try my hardest. Let me pull everything out and then I will show you guys what I have and what I plan on getting rid of. Alright, so let's start with single shadows. So as you can see, I don't have too many single shadows. I try not to collect a lot of single shadows because, to be honest, they're just a pain in my butt. So I probably will be getting rid of almost every single one of these. I have two shadows from Wet n Wild that I do want to keep. One is in Brulee and the other one is in Nutty. These are both really nice, just like this one's all over the lid type of color, and then Brulee is a really nice highlight that I don't want to be without. So I will be keeping these two, but these are easy enough to kind of pick up again if I did get rid of them, so I'm going to keep those. Now the ones that I know for sure I'm getting rid of, this one from Physicians Formula is in the color Nude. It's like one of those shimmer strips ones. I won't wear that. Going away. This from Almay is brand new. I never even opened it. It's a chocolate color. I got it on a coupon a while back. It doesn't even have a color. It says it's in the color Hot Fudge, but I won't wear that. I have it in palettes. There's no reason for me to own it in a single. This is a ColourPop shadow in the color Hustle. Stephanie gave this to me. She had two colors of it, but I probably won't ever wear this. It's a very like burgundy color, not my cup of tea. Same thing with this. A subscriber gave me this, so I hate to get rid of it. It's in Felicity Purple. It's a Hello Kitty shadow, but the shadows are just not my color, so I may keep this just for nostalgia, but I won't be using it in my collection. This is a Sigma shadow in Notre Dame. It's a really pretty color, kind of like oh, and it's super soft and buttery. Kind of like a I don't know, like a purpley taupey color. I actually do think I want to keep this. It's really pretty. I'm not the biggest fan of these like mineral shadows. This is from the Balm in If You're Rich, I'm Single. It's a really pretty color, but I really just don't think I want to keep it. I hate mineral shadows. I hate them. So I think that's going to go. This Milani shadow in Bella Ivory, I have no use for it. I kept the Wet n Wild one. There's really no reason for me to keep this. It's really pretty, but it just, I don't need it. This NYX shadow is from an Ipsy bag, just the reason why I canceled Ipsy. I don't need this little individual eyeshadow. It's in the color Innocent. If you don't have a very large makeup collection, it's nice to get things like this, but I have such a big collection, I just don't need it. This is from an Ipsy bag as well. It's the Mini Nude shadow in Flirty. It is a very pretty color, but it doesn't have very much pigmentation, so I'm just going to toss it. I picked up this a long time ago. It's a Hard Candy Duo in the color Peace, and I picked it up because of a Love Tarte here on YouTube. Mary did a get ready with me using it a long time ago, and the shadows are so pretty. I think I am going to keep this one. I also have this single shadow from Makeup Geek, and it's in the color Creme Brulee. Stephanie gave me this one as well. I think I'm going to keep this and put it in a palette of some sort. I don't really have any open palettes, but it's a nice like everyday neutral color, and I do want some more Makeup Geek shadows, so I may try and keep that. This little trio from Ipsy through NYX is also not the greatest thing I've ever used. The pigmentation's not that great on it, so I'm going to pass on that. The only other single shadows I have are in this C palette, and I also have a MAC palette that has single shadows. So I'm going to go through these quickly. This, I depotted a Maybelline palette, a Stila palette, and I think this was NARS. I'm going to keep all of these except these two shadows from Stila because, did I glue them in here? That was like torture getting these things out. Okay, so those were the only two shadows that I wanted to get rid of out of this palette. I really like these neutral shadows. This is Stila's Kitten, so it's like coveted, and then I really like wearing this duo in the fall. So let me see if this Creme Brulee, oh yep, sticks right in there. So I'm going to keep that Creme Brulee in there, and actually if I can depot these Wet n Wild shadows, I may end up putting one or two of them in there as well. And then as far as my MAC palette goes, I had good intentions of labeling these and everything, so I really couldn't tell you all of the shadows that are in here. I probably will have to go through and see what I truly use out of here and what I don't, because the palette's already full, and by getting rid of them it's really going to do me no good. So I'm just going to leave this and kind of go one by one and try and figure out on my own if I do use them or if I don't, and get rid of them from there. I have 4 e.l.f. palettes. This is the Mad for Matte palette, and I love this palette. It's an awesome palette. It's actually very similar and comparable to another palette I'm going to talk about. $10, you really can't beat it. I'm keeping this one for sure. These are the Prism eyeshadow palettes. This one is in the color Naked. I'm for sure keeping this one. These are all really good, like staple everyday neutral colors, super pigmented. They're great. I love them. So keeping this one. These two I'm not sure about. This one is in Sunset. The colors are really pretty, just like in general. I really like this color in particular and this one. But as a whole, I don't use the palette as much as I use the other one, so I think I'm going to get rid of this one. This one as well is in the color Smoke. I've done a tutorial on this and the colors are really pretty, but again, as a whole, I truly have not used this palette very much, and I do have some smoky gray tones in other palettes that I prefer, so I'm going to get rid of that one as well. These 4 palettes I will talk about quickly, but I'm keeping all of them. I have my original Urban Decay Naked palette. I love this palette. It's my go-to if I am unsure of what eyeshadows I'm going to wear. Again, it has anywhere from like day-to-day looks or during the day looks to smoky evening looks, so for sure keeping that. Naked 2, I'm always kind of on the fence about because I don't reach for it as much as my original Naked, but it does have some really good staples, just like a basic black and a basic ivory type color, so I am going to keep this one. I did get rid of my Naked 3 and I never bought the Naked Smoky, but the original and the Naked 2 are my holy grail. I think I need both of them. These two as well. This is the chocolate Too Faced chocolate bar palette and the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. I don't gravitate towards these as much as I should, but they do have really nice everyday neutrals that I definitely am going to be keeping and see if I reach for a ton more. I think I gravitate towards this one more than the other one, but I do really like these and I do want to keep them. I have a bunch of smaller type palettes that some of them I am kind of unsure about. This one I just got is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty must-haves, and it's a mini version of the Naturally Pretty palette, so it has a bunch of neutrals plus the transforming eyeshadow shade. So I'm going to keep this just because I haven't really given it a shot and I do want to check that out. This as well as the Loreal Pro Metal palette, and I have used the crap out of some of these shadows, so I am going to be keeping that one. These 4 I'm kind of unsure about. This is the Maybelline The Blush Nudes. I never really have played around with it a ton. I didn't hear that great of reviews from it. Stephanie gave it to me and I think I'm going to just get rid of it because I have so many neutral palettes that I know I love. I don't know that I need this one. Same thing with this. This is Maybelline The Brides palette, and I am never going to wear any of these colors, so I'm just going to give it away. This is the palette that I was kind of curious to compare to the e.l.f. Mad for Matte. This is the Sonia Kashuk Ion Neutral palette. I think it's the Ion Neutral 2. Yeah, so it's the 2nd edition, and as you can see here, it does have 12 eyeshadows, and this one has 10 eyeshadows, but they're very similar in tones. The one thing that I can say is I do think this has like a kind of a pinkier tone overall, but I like that because the pinkier tones work with me better. So I do think I'm going to get rid of the Sonia Kashuk Ion Neutral because when it comes down to it, when I'm reaching for one or the other, I find myself reaching more for the e.l.f. one than the Sonia Kashuk. Final decision, I'm going to get rid of the Sonia Kashuk one and keep the e.l.f. one. This one also, it's a Smashbox palette. It's the On the Rocks palette, and Steph actually gave this to me for Christmas last year, but unfortunately I have not used it one time. So I do want to keep it because it does have some really pretty colors that I don't have anywhere else, like this emerald color, that really pretty purple. I have swatched it once but have not used it, and I do want to use it. So I'm going to keep this and play around with it a little bit, but if I don't end up using it, I will probably have to pass it on. I have the BH Cosmetics It's Judy Time palette. I am going to be keeping this even though I don't reach for it too often nowadays. I don't know if you guys can tell, there's some pretty big divots in some of these. I love this palette. I just have so many palettes that I've been trying to mess with lately that This has not been one of them, but I would not get rid of this because it was limited edition and you cannot get it now. I have 4 of these palettes from Coastal Scents. I have the full collection. So from the original Revealed to the Revealed Smoky, which is the most recent one. Oh, and I don't know if I want to keep these. The original Revealed is very similar to the original Naked and the Naked 2 palette, and I have the Naked and the original Naked, so I don't know that I should keep this one, even though I think it's a great dupe. I just don't know. This is the Revealed 2 and the Revealed 3. The Revealed 2 has a lot of use out of it for me because I did get rid of my Naked 3 palette, and this had a lot of great dupes. So I am going to keep the Revealed 2 just for the simple fact that I don't have the Naked 3. This one to me, which is the Revealed 3, I don't reach for as much. I feel like I have similar shades in this palette. Like I feel like the tones are very similar in both of the palettes, and any of the neutral colors in this one I have in other palettes for sure. So I think out of all of them, I am going to keep the Revealed 2 palette. Oh, I'm for sure going to get rid of the Revealed 3, pass it on to a friend or something. These are very inexpensive on the Coastal Scents website, but I'm going to pass that on, and then I think... I don't know what to do with this one. I think I'm going to pass this one on as well. There's just no need for me to have all of these. Now the Revealed Smoky is brand new to me. I actually just got it as PR in the mail, and I put in a haul video several weeks ago, and I have yet to really play around with it, so I'm going to keep it and kind of play around with it. I do like the smokier tones of it, and actually in comparison to the original Revealed palette, it does have some similar tones there. So yeah, I'm going to keep the smoky and for sure get rid of the Revealed. I have 2 palettes from the drugstore, the Loreal Palette Nude 1 and Nude 2, and I got these on a coupon, and to be honest, I have really not played with them since I bought them. So this is the 1 and this is the 2, and out of both of them, you know, to be honest, I have shadows that are very similar in other palettes to both of them. Like this is very comparable to my Naked palettes. This is very comparable to something that I already have somewhere else, I'm sure. So I'm kind of tossed up about these. I don't know if I want to keep them. They're very soft and buttery, so I'm kind of torn. I think I'm going to keep them and play around with them, and if I don't use them, then I will get rid of them because I do have shades like this in other palettes that I really like. Next is the Tarte Rainforest After Dark eye palette, and I'm not going to get rid of this. The eyeshadows are not my favorite, but the reason I'm keeping this is mainly for the blush. The blush is absolutely gorgeous. This is like my Tarte's Exposed. It's so pretty. Of course you can't see it there, but it's like just the perfect blend of neutral and pink. I like the highlight, I like the bronzer, and the eyeshadows are nice. The gold one's probably my favorite. It has the biggest divot out of all of them, but the rest of them are nice. But I'm keeping this palette strictly for the blush, which I guess I could just depot the blush and toss the rest, but that's a waste of product, so I'm keeping it. Okay, so my Loreal palettes. I'm for sure keeping my Loreal Mega Pro 2, just for the simple fact that it's still pretty new to me. I've used a ton of the shadows, but I don't want to get rid of it. I really, really like it. This is my original Loreal Pro palette. The mirror is broken, so I'm almost tempted to get rid of it. I have used quite a few of these shadows, but you know, to be honest, there are very similar shadows in the Mega Pro 2 as the Mega Pro, or as the Pro 2, I can't even talk, as the Pro palette. So I think I may part with the Pro palette and just keep the Mega Pro 2. Same quality. Oh, I'm so torn. Nope, I'm going to keep both of them. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm going to keep both of them. Next is this Coastal Scents 12 pan palette, and I think I'm going to get rid of this. I actually really do like a bunch of the colors. They are some of my favorites, but seeing how much stuff that I'm keeping, I'm going to get rid of it because I do have things that I prefer over their Hot Pots, like their Revealed palette, so I'm going to part with that. And then the last things that I have are these Tarte High Performance Neutrals palettes, and this was from the holiday collection that Tarte most recently came out with, and I have yet to really dabble in any of these, so I'm going to keep them. They come with 8 eyeshadows each and a blush. That's like the pinkier version. Here's like a smoky neutral, and then this is more of like a hotter pink with some more neutrals. So I'm going to keep those, but I may end up getting rid of those if I don't like them too. The only other thing that I have in here are my lashes with my lash glue. That's obviously not going anywhere. Okay, so there's my breakdown. I definitely kept way more than half, but I did get rid of quite a few palettes, and there's still some palettes in here like probably 3 or 4 of them that are pending. So I'm going to be using them and try them out and try and incorporate them in my day-to-day looks, and if it doesn't happen, they are going bye-bye. I definitely do have room to grow. I have lots of space up here for more palettes, and I could even lace them on top and stuff like that, and I cleared out a ton, so I am happy with my progress. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing me weed through my eyeshadow collection. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!